The story of vending machines begins much earlier than most people think. While many believe they are a modern invention, the first recorded vending machine was actually built in ancient Greece by Hero of Alexandria, designed to dispense holy water in temples. Fast forward to London in the 1880s, and the first commercial coin-operated machines were introduced to sell postcards. But today, the humble metal box has evolved into a hyper-optimized global industry. It is a silent economy that operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The global vending machine market is currently valued at over $20 billion and is growing steadily every single year. To understand the macroeconomic behind this massive industry, we have to look at Japan. Japan is the undisputed king of the vending world, operating millions of machines across the country. But this is not just a cultural obsession, it is a forced economic adaptation driven by what we call the silver economy. As Japan's population rapidly ages and its workforce shrinks, the country is facing a severe labor shortage. There simply are not enough young human workers to staff traditional convenience stores. At the same time, commercial real estate in highly dense cities like Tokyo is incredibly expensive. The vending machine became the perfect solution. It is a tireless, automated retail worker that does not require a salary, does not need a pension, and only takes up a few square feet of physical space. Japan proved that the vending machine is a critical piece of national infrastructure. Inspired by this automated efficiency, a massive internet trend has emerged globally, pitching vending machines as the ultimate passive income business. To start a vending machine business, the barrier to entry seems low, but the hidden financial realities quickly add up. First is the initial investment. A basic refurbished mechanical machine might cost around $1,500. However, a modern cloud-connected smart machine can cost up to $8,000. Before you even sell a single candy bar, you also have to pay for commercial liability insurance, local business licenses, initial inventory, and the installation of cellular card readers. Once you have the machine, you face the hardest part of the business, finding a profitable location. In this industry, you are not really in the food business, you are in the micro real estate business. Location dictates your total sales volume. However, prime locations are never free. Facility managers in hospitals, airports, or busy office buildings act as digital landlords. They understand the value of their foot traffic. To place your machine in a good spot, the property owner will often demand a commission of 15 to 30% of your gross sales. After paying the location commission, you have to look at the costs and margins. For a standard operator, the profit margin on normal snacks and sodas sits around 20 to 25%. You can sometimes hit higher margins with specialty items, but the profits are heavily restricted by the difficulties of being an independent operator. The biggest hurdle is sourcing the bottleneck. Massive corporate operators have vertically integrated supply chains, meaning they can produce their own drinks at a fraction of a cent per ounce. The independent operator, on the other hand, usually has to buy their inventory in bulk at big box retail stores like Costco or Sam's Club. Buying retail products just to resell them severely limits how much money you can actually make. On top of that, an independent operator is essentially running a micro-trucking company. You have to physically load heavy cases of liquids into a van early in the morning and drive from location to location. Operators also face the brutal reality of physical retail. Unlike digital software, physical machines break down. This is the law of mechanical entropy. Cooling compressors blow out, coins lob jam, and fixing them require expensive commercial repair technicians. There is also the constant threat of shrinkage. Physical food expires and has to be thrown away, and vandalism is a constant threat. A single drill lock or shattered glass panel can whip out 6 months of profit for a single machine. Besides such tight margins and high risk, vending machines are highly optimized behavioral experiments designed to exploit human impulse psychology. They rely on the economic principle of inelastic demand. Operators purposely place machines in captive environments. If you are stuck in a hospital waiting room at 2 in the morning, or waiting at an isolated airport gate, you have no other options. the consumer is physically trapped. Because of this, the operator can charge massive price premium for basic items like a bottle of water. There is also the psychology of the visual layout, known in the retail industry as a planogram. A vending machine is essentially a micro grocery store. The operators place the highest margin items right at eye level, forcing the consumer to look at the most expensive product first, while heavy or cheaper items are hidden down at the bottom. Furthermore, vending machines tap into the human desire for control and autonomy. Many consumers actually prefer interacting with a predictable, automated system rather than a human cashier. A machine offers a completely frictionless transaction. There is no small talk, no waiting in a long checkout line, and no social judgment for buying unhealthy snacks. It is a completely autonomous retail experience. This frictionless experience was perfected with the introduction of tap-to-pay technology. In behavioral economics, handing over physical cash triggers a negative response in the human brain known as the pain of paying. It forces you to realize you are losing resources. Tap-to-pay card readers bypass these psychological frictions entirely. Tapping a glowing screen turns a financial transaction into an instant gratification dopamine loop. You tap, the machine hums, the snack drops, and the brain registers a reward without the guilt of spending physical cash. While independent operators fight for small margins using these psychological tricks, the true winners of the industry are the massive global corporations. The vending machine ecosystem is heavily controlled by a few key players who dominate both the hardware and the supply chain. On the hardware side, Fuji Electric is a leading innovator. They hold approximately 50% of Japan's massive vending machine market. But they aren't just building metal boxes. They are setting global benchmarks by exporting cutting-edge machines featuring facial recognition, cashless payments, and remote monitoring. On the product side, supply chain kings like Nestlé and Coca-Cola completely dominate. Nestlé leverages its massive portfolio with Nescafe and Milo machines serving millions of people daily across Asia Pacific and Europe. Coca-Cola takes this even further, operating an incredible global fleet of over 10 million vending machines and commercial coolers. But the biggest shift driven by these corporate giants is technological innovation and the move towards smart solutions. In fact, smart vending machines equipped with IoT capabilities are projected to grow by double digits annually. The modern smart vending machine is no longer a dumb coin collector. It is an edge computing node connected directly to the cloud. Massive corporations are using this machine for data as a service. Coca-Cola, for example, uses AI-driven analytics in its freestyle machines to offer customizable drinks while simultaneously tracking real-time inventory. Every time a consumer makes a purchase, the machine transmits telemetry data. It tracks exact inventory levels and consumer habits, which minimize downtimes and optimize their global supply chains. The story of the vending machine is a fascinating journey to becoming a pillar of modern global economics. Vending machines may look effortless from the buyer's perspective, but behind the scenes, they operate on a finely tuned economic machine. For massive corporations who can afford to build the hardware, control the supply chain, and harvest the consumer data, the vending machine is a brilliant, nearly invincible business empire. After all, it is a highly optimized ecosystem built on demographic shifts, spatial economics, and the simple psychology of human impulse. Thank you for watching.